Coming up, a disturbing scene inside a University of Iowa fraternity. A look into why Alpha Delta Phi is suspended until 2029.
Back to cold winter temperatures. I'll have your full weather forecast ahead.
And an Iowa City staple reopens downtown. Why the nightlife community is excited for its return.
And Iowa women's basketball steamrolls the Boilermakers.
All that and more
coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Friday, February 20th. I'm Kate Vernon.
And I'm Ryan Lynch.
And the third member of our party, Josie Boyle, is live to tell us today's forecast. I've heard that warm weather we had earlier this week might have been a bit of a fluke. Is that right, Josie?
Well, Kate, I'm standing here outside Adler Journalism Building, and I have to say that warm weather was definitely a fluke. It is currently 25 degrees outside, and today's high will only reach 31 before dropping to a frigid 15 degrees tonight. Let's take a look at the Pentacrest. I hope you enjoyed the glimpse of sun we had earlier this week, because we will not see it tomorrow either. Saturday will be very similar to today, with a high of 30 degrees with winds up to 20 miles per hour and a nightly low of 10 degrees. Well, Kate and Ryan, I can confidently say that this weekend will be nothing like last weekend's lovely temperatures. I'll have the rest of the week's forecast coming up. Back to you at the desk.
And a disturbing new video shows an alleged hazing incident at a University of Iowa fraternity. Take a look at the newly released body camera footage from the Alpha Delta Phi house back in 2024. Police were sent out to the scene for a fire alarm in November of 2024, but found something much more disturbing. Instead, there were more than 50 pledges blindfolded and covered in ketchup, mustard, and alcohol.
This is a police department. This stops here. Who's in charge? They're upstairs.
Charges were dropped, and Alpha Delta Phi is now suspended until at least July of 2029. The university's Interfraternity Council said in a press release Thursday that the suspension, quote, reflects their commitment to accountability and student safety, end quote.
And a large brush fire burned through the fields of rural Johnson County on Wednesday, sending smoke all the way to the University of Iowa campus. Take a look at these pictures and videos sent in by viewers and collected from our staff. This is the fire that burned around 500 acres just south of I-80 and west of Highway 280. The smoke could be seen for several miles, with several students snapping pictures of the haze. This all happened while Johnson County was under a red flag warning, a time where fires can quickly develop and spiral out of control. Luckily, no home damage or injuries have been reported. The cause has not been released.
The Iowa legislature is working to deliver a win for people who are against vaccines.
DITV's Camila Munez is live in the newsroom with the details on a new vaccine bill.
Ryan, students completing healthcare degrees at private colleges and universities could complete the required training without the typical vaccine requirements. The bill, which was approved by the Iowa Senate Education Committee on Wednesday, allows students at private institutions to ask for placement in training rotations where they would be free from vaccination requirements. Any school that fails to meet a student's request would be disqualified from the Iowa Tuition Grant Program. The grant program offers state financial aid for eligible students at private institutions. Democratic Senator Cindy Winkler of Davenport and Republican Senator Jeff Taylor of Sioux City have raised concerns about the bill punishing students and not schools. Reporting live from the newsroom, Camila Munez, DITV.
And a new and emerging University of Iowa club is raising awareness for global health equity. Partners in Health Engage is now working on bringing action and advocacy to campus. Student members of PIH work to organize fundraising events, host campaigns, and organize protests with the mission to reach legislators' attention.
Global health equity is something that people all over the world should care about, but especially in Iowa because we do a lot of work with our state officials and we pressure them a lot to care about health equity and health for all.
This club looks to encourage UI students to fight for a cause that goes farther than state and country barriers, supporting the fight for universal health care. And the group itself is universal, as it is also a global network with organizations at colleges all over.
And it's different than other volunteering and service organizations because it doesn't only focus on volunteering, but it also focuses on things like advocacy, education, and systemic changes in health and healthcare.
The group hopes to offer many activities that will benefit impoverished areas later this semester.
Iowa City Marketplace, previously called Sycamore Mall, is getting closer to a makeover. Iowa City Council voted unanimously this week to designate the mall as an urban renewal area. This means an area the city identifies for improvements. This renewal will be completed using tax incentives to help encourage developments for the area. The council is now working to get opinions on how best to renovate. City Council will take the next steps toward improving the mall in future meetings. Iowa City is gearing up for its brand new City Park pool. This upgrade replaces the original facility that previously served the community for over 70 years. Now, construction is in full swing. It was originally set to finish by Memorial Day weekend, but weather and delays pushed back the timeline. City leaders say this is what will be worth it.
Overall, I think we were on a pretty accelerated time frame, both with the design and now with the construction. So unfortunately, it slipped a little bit, and we just, ask people to be patient. It'll be well worth it when it's done. It'll be a really nice facility.
The updated complex will feature 3 separate areas, including a family pool, a lap pool, and a diving pool with a climbing wall. The project also includes a modern bathhouse and a year-round community room for the Iowa City community to enjoy. The grand opening is expected for midsummer.
Students across campus are trying to stay healthy while grocery prices are on the rise.
DITV's Liz Schultz shows us how the students at the University of Iowa are using free campus resources to make food more affordable.
Many college students are struggling to eat 3 meals a day. Data from the U.S. Government Accountability Office shows nearly 1 in 4 college students are food insecure. This means many students are finding their own ways to eat affordable and often.
I eat like a lot of canned food, and I feel like that's like a really cheap and convenient way to like eat healthy.
Hubbard says she often shops at Walmart, calling it one of her more affordable options. But shopping off campus isn't always easy. Now I am here walking through the aisles of Walmart where there are dozens of food options. However, it's miles away from campus, so not every student has access. The University of Iowa's food pantry is free, and it's within walking distance from campus. Hubbard says she often prefers the pantry over Walmart.
There's a lot of fresh produce and stuff that I usually won't get in my Walmart pickup orders.
And for students who want help, there's free support offered on campus. Laura Crotto Lopez is a registered dietitian who helps students find healthy and affordable options.
What does healthy eating mean? And it's honestly much more simple than what everybody makes it out to be.
She says healthy doesn't have to mean expensive.
You can get a lot of frozen fruits and veggies, and those are going to last longer. They're relatively priced, and so you don't always have to get fresh.
She says students don't need a perfect plan, just a willingness to ask questions. In Iowa City, Liz Schultz, DITV.
And an Iowa City staple is back downtown. The Union Bar and Grill, now located on South Clinton Street right next to Fieldhouse, reopened Thursday after being closed since 2020. The bar, known for its live music and high energy, is already drawing huge crowds. Thursday night brought a packed crowd with lines out the door and dozens of visitors right before opening at 8. The 2-story bar features various spaces for a night out in Iowa City. And students say it's a great way to bring back a classic bar to make new memories downtown.
And coming up later, Iowa women's basketball continues to roll. Hawkeye baseball and softball prepare for weekends down south, and a top 20 ranked gymnastics showdown is on tap. All that and more after the break.
Hi DITV, my name's Maura DeChico. I'm a former producer, and the Daily Iowan gave me the ability to realize how much I love working behind the scenes in a studio and on video work. And so now I am a freelance editor, and I do just that. I advise clients on what is going to work best in the algorithm and for their work specifically, and then I edit videos.
Welcome back to DITV, your spot for all the latest in Iowa City.
But before we get back into it, let's take a look back outside with Josie for the forecast for the week ahead.
Thanks, guys. This frigid weather will continue into next week. Let's take another look at the Pentacrest. Sunday's high will be around 22 degrees with possible wind gusts and a nighttime low in the single digits. Monday's temperatures will be similar with a high in the 20s and a low around 13 degrees. However, we may see some much needed sunshine during the day. Tuesday will warm up with a high in the mid 40s and a low of 32 degrees with clouds. Wednesday and Thursday will also bring partial clouds and highs in the low 40s. Well, guys, I hope you took advantage of the warm weather and gorgeous sunshine while it lasted. For now, I will be making sure to bundle up and stay warm this week. Back to you in the studio.
You know, guys, I was definitely disappointed to feel it was cold weather. I kind of feel like spring almost kind of pump faked us. But speaking of pump fakes, I heard basketball was pretty big.
Absolutely. Pump fakes and shot makes. A lot of stuff going on for basketball. Women's basketball traveled to Purdue last night, where Ava Hyde and Taylor Stremlo, coming off of career highs, they look to continue that momentum and keep the good vibes rolling. Although Iowa was without Hannah Stolke, the Hawks wasted no time in avenging the men's loss last weekend, once again leaning on Hyde and Stremlo to set the tone. By the end of the first quarter, it was Iowa 29-14, courtesy of Stremlo's 10 points and Hyden's 9. Sophomore duo kept their feet on the gas pedal, building the Hawkeye advantage to 19 at halftime while continuing to lead the way. And although Purdue brought things back in the second half, freshman Journey Houston set career highs of her own with 16 points and 28 minutes played. Iowa hung on to win 83-74, and this game was a tune-up before the Hawks' top-ranked clash against number 6 Michigan on Senior Day this Sunday. And the win last night also furthered Jan Jensen's campaign for Naismith Coach of the Year award. In her second year at the helm, Jensen has the Hawks ranked 13th in the country with a 21-5 record, 11-3 in conference play, and 6 top 25 wins. And over on the men's side, Bennett Sturts has been nominated for the Naismith Player of the Year award. Averaging over 20 points a game and a touch under 5 assists, the projected NBA first-rounder has kept the men's team afloat all year as they look to punch their ticket to March Madness. Well, after a record-setting performance on Tuesday, the Iowa baseball team flocked south once again for their first weekend series of the year against the FAU Owls. Through 4 games, the Hawks are 3-1, with the offense being the clear strength of the team at the moment, contributing an eye-popping 65 runs scored so far. Tyler Guerin is expected to get the nod for the Hawks this evening, and he'll be looking to bounce back after struggling with command and allowing 7 earned runs across 3 frames against Kansas State in the season opener last week. First pitch is set for 5:30 p.m. Central. And Iowa softball looks to build on a 4-game win streak this weekend in their 3rd tournament of the season. Last time out, the Hawks went a perfect 4-0 in the MUSB Invitational, and this weekend they'll head out to the home of the Campbell Camels in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. On both Friday and Saturday, the Hawks take on Radford and Campbell, and then they'll close out the weekend with a game against Miami, Ohio on Sunday. And Iowa gymnastics, in the middle of one of their best seasons in years, has a huge test on tap this Saturday against number 19 Penn State. The Hawks are undefeated at home this season, and last time they competed at Carver, they broke a program record with a 197-225 against Nebraska. This meet begins at 5 p.m. and will be broadcasted on the Big Ten Network. And moving over to the pool, the Big Ten Championships are underway for Iowa Swim and Dive, and the Hawks have been testing some school records. In the 200 medley relay, the quad of Peyton Flowers, Rachel Dildine, Ella Jean Kelly, and Audrey Olin set the fastest time in program history with a 1:29.68 on Thursday evening. And in the 800 freestyle relay, the team's 7:12.78 on Wednesday was the 7th fastest run in Iowa history. Well, guys, a ton of great stuff happening in Hawkeye athletics, from baseball and softball to the pool to gymnastics. It's really busy right now.
And it's also a really big day because today is Love Your Pet Day.
Enjoy this video of DITV staff members as pets in honor of today.
Personally, I love dogs, but these are all cute pets.
Personally, I've never had a dog before, but I've always asked my parents for one ever since I was growing up, and they always said no, honestly.
Yeah, you're right, Ryan. They are all cute pets, from the dogs. We saw that one cat.
It's true.
No, this one right there, let's head out the window.
We were not necessarily a dog family. We got a dog around 2020-ish, and since then he's kind of been integrated into our home. My siblings are huge fans of the dog now.
I'm really jealous. Well, thank you for joining us live online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We're here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at dailyiowan.com.
For all of us here at DITV, we will see you again on Monday morning right here on DITV.